Proline BF Goodreads crawler tires up for grabs. So guys, subscribe to the channel, write me a comment down below why you need these awesome tires, for what rig, and I will put you in the final draw. Today we're going to be testing the positions of a full-size battery in the TRX4 Sport. So a lot of people like putting their batteries up in front. They buy smaller batteries, but this video is for people who run full-size batteries. So I'm going to be running a couple of side healing tests and finding out which position is best for your full-size battery. So first thing we need to do is, probably take out the sound box, because the sound box might change a bit of the weight in the test. Okay, got the sound box out. So in last week's video, I changed the position of the steering servo to a lower position to get a better angle on the panhard rod or the track bar. Now that is all done, and I can place my battery, my full-size battery, in the front of the vehicle. So let's run a couple of tests in this position and in the original position in the tray down here, and let's see what the difference is. So now, how am I going to complete this scientific test? I've got the perfect tool for that, by the way. It is a cooler box. It's a perfect tool, has hinges here. I can maneuver the angle, place the car onto the top of it, and in this way we can do a side healing test by finding out the angle when the car actually starts to tip over. So my angle app thingy is not working on my phone, so I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So instead, I've printed this out. I'm going to stick this on here, tape it down, and then when I move the angle of the lid, I can measure at what angle the car will fall. So I've set everything up, got it on this side because I need to read it, at what angle the car will actually tip over, or side healing angle the car will tip over. So let's get the truck on its wheels here, and let's run the first test. So first test, we're going to put the battery in its original position. Place it down and close it. Perfect. All right. So let's see when the car starts to tip over. Okay, it was a bit more difficult than I thought. Hang on a second. I'm actually going to place some weight into the cooler box. So obviously, just going to put some beers in the cooler box. Okay, so let's try that again. The cooler box is weighted down with some beverage. And now the test is battery in the tray in its original position. And let's test the angle. 45 point. Actually, it's 46 degrees. So let's change the position into the front. Now that is probably, let's actually measure that, how much higher that is from that point. Okay, I'm going to measure from this point here to the bottom of the tray. I have 3.1, and then from this point here to the bottom of where the battery lies now is 1.4. So from its original position in the tray, coming up to the front of the car, it rises by 1.7 centimeters. So just under 2 centimeters, the battery sits actually higher in the front position. So let's turn the car around again and run the second test in the front position. Balance the car out again like it was before. Coming to 45. Now that is weird. I am now on 46. Wow, not bad. Okay, I'm going to redo the test because there was no difference at all. And I mean, give me a degree difference, at least a degree. All right, battery in the front. Car set up on the corner of the rail that it doesn't slip off. Let's do that again. And we are coming to 45, 46, 47. So 46, 47 is where the car starts going. So let's place it in its tray. Set up the wheels on the side here perfectly. Try that with the original position. So we're on 45, 46, back axle slipped off. There is more weight on the rear of the car now, so that's why the back axle does like to slip away. Try that again. So we are coming up to 45, 46, 47, and the car goes. So they both go at the same angle. So between 46 and 47, the car starts to tilt. So there's no difference at all. The only thing I notice is that the back axle wants to slide off earlier. So when you put the battery in the front, the back axle stays in its position. So let's try hill climbing. So in order to complete this test, I actually had to tape the wheels to the lid because the angle is very, very steep. The car would just roll off the lid, if you see what I mean. But it will eventually go. I mean, obviously, if the car will be wheel spinning at this stage, obviously it won't have grip anymore. But let's just see if there's a difference in the setup of the batteries. So original position in the tray. Let's do this first test and see at what angle the car starts tilting. That is exactly 75. So let's place the battery in the front. There we go. And let's try that again. Coming up to 70. 75. And you can already see I'm on 76 now. So it's 70, it's 1 degree better when it's in the front. 1 degree, which is really not a lot. Now obviously I know that this position has got nothing to do with actually driving up an obstacle. This is just to see when the car would actually go out of its balance point. And now we're going to set the car up for downhilling. Okay, I'm almost done anchoring the car into its position. There we go. Perfect. Just set the tires up, that they line Okay, perfect. So first test again in the original position, original tray. Okay, perfect. Run the first test. Going up to 70. Now we're on 70. So at 70, the start point is where it goes out of suspension and actually wants to tilt. Hang on a second. Something just changed. Oh, the car moved a little bit. Okay, hang on, let's try that again. Going up slowly. 60, 65, and this is 70, and that's where she starts to go. Let's put the battery in the front. Make sure the car's standing in the exact position as before, lined up perfectly, and let's try that again. 60, 65, and it's actually less. It's on 68. That's not good. Well, angle of it being down here, angle of being up there. Could be that this is pulling it down because of the weight distribution. Let's try that again. Let's just make sure the car stands in a normal position like it did just now. 65, 66, 67, 68, and it starts going. So in its original position, it was 70 degrees. In the front position, it's 68 degrees. So the front position is actually a little bit worse on the downhilling. So obviously I do understand that the tires will not have grip over 60 degrees. I am just trying to figure out what angle it would actually start to tilt. On the downhilling, well, actually it's quite a bit logic. If you put more weight in the front of the car and you do downhilling, you might tip earlier. So it's about a 2-degree difference. So your position would be better in the original tray on downhilling. So if you know you're doing downhilling, put it in the original position. Or just leave it in the original position. Okay, let's take the car off of its anchored rig again. There we go. Take this off. Oh, it smells like beer. Quick summary. Oh, we have a bumblebee in here. Don't come this way. Don't come this way. He's coming back. Exactly. That's exactly what I didn't want. Okay. Okay. Bumblebee. He's not gone, but he's somewhere around, but he's not close. So, quick summary. Full-size battery placement on side hilling didn't do any difference. So if it was original tray or in the front. On the hill climbing, in the front, it was 1 degree better, but only 1 degree, which is really got something to do with how the suspension at that moment is set up. So I don't really think 1 degree is a mention. And on the downhilling, it was actually worse putting the battery in the front. The better position was in the original tray. So we had a 2 degree difference with the battery being in the front, where the back would actually then start flipping. Now I do understand 60 degrees, 70 degrees is way too much for the tires to handle. The car would be actually at that point, it would be slipping down. So to put a bit more understanding in this, the angle of the car exceeds the grip of the wheels. If you know what I'm trying to say here. So before the car actually would tip over, the traction of the wheels would give up and the car would slide away. Now on the side hilling, there is no difference where the battery is placed. On the uphilling it was 1 degree difference, and on the downhilling it was 2 degrees difference. But the angle is so high that you'd probably lose grip before the car would actually tilt. So in my eyes, the original tray doesn't really matter. You could place it in its original tray, or if it's up to you, if you know you're doing downhilling, or if you have your battery in the front and you know you're doing downhilling in that day, or there will be a lot of downhills on your trail, don't place it in the front. Put it back into its original position. If you're doing uphilling, you've got that 1 degree, just 1 degree ace up your sleeve, maybe it'll help you out. So the results are so close on the test that the only thing I would say or would advise on, if you're hill climbing, you can place the battery in the front. If you're doing downhills and if you are running normal trails, I would run the battery in the original tray. There's not such a big difference, and the angle is so high that the grip of the tires would actually give up. So guys, I thought this test was going to be a bit of a bigger difference, but there you go. These are the results. So that's it for me this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Write me a comment why you need those tires, what you need it for, new rig, old rig, building a rig, or even building a rig that has nothing to do with rock crawling. Doesn't matter. And we shall see you next time. Bye.